you know, got. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna be installing my Mishimoto Radiator. Yes, today's video is partially sponsored by Mishimoto, so yeah, I've never had to do a sponsored video before. This is cool. This video is partially sponsored by Mishimoto, and the reason why I say partially is because I've had this radiator for about 2 years and it's been hiding in my garage, and the reason why I've never installed it is because I was moving, buying a house, and with all the renovations, I just never got to it. But I reached out to Mishimoto and they were kind enough to send me the hoses that come with the radiator. If you guys don't know, Mishimoto is the world's leading in performance cooling products. So I'm gonna leave their link down below where you guys can go get all of these products that I'm gonna be installing in this video. I'm gonna go ahead with some painter's tape and I'm gonna tape my headlights because I don't want my front bumper to accidentally scratch my brand new V-Lands. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and then we'll take off the front bumper. Throughout this video, you're gonna notice that the words radiator are voiced over, and that's because I decided that I wanted to call a radiator a radiator throughout the whole filming process of this video. So I just didn't want to deal with the comment section. Just know that I was pronouncing it incorrectly, and I am indeed saying radiator, but I will fix it to radiator just so you guys are happy. Alright, so I'm gonna loosen the radiator cap. Like so. Place that down. I have a hose that's gonna go into this bucket right here, and we're gonna loosen up that little yellow knob to let the coolant out and flush. Oh, we have a mess. I got the wrong size hose, guys. I'd measured before you end up making a mess like I did. Took a break, I had some lunch, now I got a beer. No beer flu for me. Now we have to take off the whole intake assembly. We're gonna be removing the hose clamps to the throttle body and as well as the hose clamps for the sound tube generator. We're gonna remove the PCV tube and the mass flow air sensor right over here. Ignore the car in the background. We're gonna go ahead and use a 10mm socket to remove 1, 2, and underneath over here 3 bolts that hold in the airbox. Here's a little tip that I like to do. I write down what I have taken off, the screws that I've taken off, and I leave them right next to this piece of tape. So these 3 screws are from my airbox. So I wrote 3, so I put airbox screws 3, so I know that there's 3 that I need to install on my airbox. And then I'll go ahead and do that with multiple parts. That way I don't ever lose any of my bolts. And then put this in a very safe spot. Okay, so to remove the radiator support, you have to remove the hood latch first. So there's 3 12mm bolts that I'm gonna take off, and then we can start taking off the radiator support. We're gonna have to take off these pop clips right here and right here, and then remove these 12mm bolts that are on the radiator support, and there's 2 12mm bolts right down there. I think I should have taken off the skid pan, but if I have no troubles, I'm not going to take it off, but I might have to. I'm going to go ahead and remove the radiator support, which should come out easily after you remove those 2 bolts, like that. I'm also going to go ahead and remove these 4 pop clips. I already removed 2, but this connects, this disconnects the air dam from the crash support. I really need to get like a good prying tool. This garbage. So I'm also going to be taking out 2 10mm bolts that connect the coolant reservoir. So okay, that has nothing in it. Good. I had Cody come out and help me really quickly. All right, that works. Thank you. We're gonna put that there. That one is just stuck.
This one's being a pain in the butt.
Just keep twisting and we're gonna replace it anyways.
There we go.
There you go.
Woo. That should come off real easy.
There you go.
All right.
Awesome.
Here you go.
Thank you.
You know what's nice though?
Note to self. Be careful when putting on clamps. Yes. We have to remove these 2 electrical connectors that connect to the fan shroud. This clip right here took me like 10 minutes to disconnect because it just didn't want to come off. And I also took this one off right here. So now we're going to remove these clips right here and one right here. And there we have the fan shroud. Okay, so I just removed the lower radiator hose, and this right here was so difficult to come off, but we got her out, and that's all that matters. You see how there's so many paper towels right around here? It's because when I removed the lower radiator hose, that thing just spilled with a bunch of coolant. So don't be dumb. Make sure you put something on the ground when you remove those clamps and the hose. There are two 10mm bolts on each side. So I'm gonna go ahead and take those out. How much of a mess am I making in the garage? Now this is the fun part. This is the Mishimoto Radiator for a 2016 Scion FRS or BRZ or 86. And I'm gonna go ahead and take off these little hose thingies. Boom. We're gonna go ahead and install the radiator stays, so make sure your tools are not falling like they are on me. So now that you have this bracket on and secured, we're gonna go ahead and put the air dam, which is somewhere around here. We're gonna go ahead and put the air dam in next. And first, you wanna make sure you don't have any tools in the way. I really need to get like some sort of stand so I can put my tools on top of the car, because I seem to do that a lot. Clean this this up a little bit before I do anything else. Oh, that's nasty. Not perfect, but a lot better. Next, we're gonna install the radiator stays. So now that I put on the radiator support, I put on my 4 bolts, 2 on each side, and these are 12mm bolts, and we're gonna go ahead and tighten these. This is the bottom of the radiator support. You're gonna go ahead and take your 2 12mm bolts, and you are going to attach them. I can't film and do this with one hand, but you guys get the picture. Put bolts in the hood latch, and you're done. Next, we're gonna install the intake box assembly. So, yeah, make this fit. Just because she's stocked doesn't mean that she has to look dirty. So we gotta, you know, we're gonna spritz a little bit over here, right here. Beautiful. Go ahead and install your screws for the airbox. One goes there, one goes right here. And I believe these are 10mm bolts, and there's one right down there that needs to be screwed down. Now that we did all that work, we're gonna go ahead and add this super long life 50/50 pre-diluted antifreeze / coolant that is from Toyota. And we're gonna fill it up. I'm not sure if I need 1 gallon or 2, but we're gonna add this because it's all I have, and then we're gonna close it, and then we're done. Before you guys come at me, I know that you have to burp the car, pretty much take out the air that's within the system, but the FRS is kind of dead right now. The battery has drained on the car, and I can't turn it on because I don't have a starter pack. So what I am going to do is hold off from adding the coolant, and instead I'm just going to wait until I finish my tie rods, and then I'll do all of that together and put it in a video for you guys. But that is my step-by-step process on how I installed my Mishimoto Radiator. I also want to give a really huge shout out to Mishimoto again for partially sponsoring this video. Thank you guys for sending me out the hoses, and if it wasn't for them and their YouTube video that helped me do this step-by-step installation, I don't think I would have been able to do it. So I'm gonna leave the link down below where you guys can go check out their channel and see the video for yourself. So thank you again, and thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, go ahead and leave it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!